Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm King Sway, and welcome back to RPG Story Realm. I know I've been going for a while, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've had a lot going on. For those of you that know, don't know, I have multiple jobs since I was being a father. And my work schedule got crazy to the point where I couldn't create content. I'm also in a point of trying to produce my own show. It's called League of Guardians. It's been in production in the wings. It's been in the works for like 2 years now. It's a project made out of love for my kids, my family, and hopefully it can get done soon. We just got green screens and we've been setting up sets and locations and things. But enough of that. Let's get to what you guys came for. And today we have, am I the idiot or did my player metagame? So let's jump right into this story, because you know this. I think this is going to be a good one. So here we go. A few years ago, I ran Waterdeep Dragon Heist when I was still a very inexperienced DM. I had only run a few games for a few months. I was running the autumn storyline, and the party got to the place where they needed to try and find. Soda. Find the thing. Avoiding spoilers for those who haven't played it, but if you know, you know. The party gets there only to find out that there are drow there waiting for them, and they have the thing. Now, what's supposed to happen is a drow escape with the thing, and the party has to chase them across the rooftops until they reach another place where they find crazy magic stuff and fight, and this crazy big thing happens. I've been looking forward to this encounter for weeks, and was so excited now that we were here. However, as soon as the party sees the drow, the cleric immediately declares, I light a torch, and I throw it at them to blind them. Yeah, no. Now, for context, the cleric is played by someone who was the forever DM in our group before I took over as DM. So he was very familiar with rules and lore, and he knew that drow are sensitive to sunlight. Now, if I had been a more experienced DM, I might have realized that this could possibly count as metagaming, since I don't know how common that knowledge is in the world, or if his character will actually even know that detail. I could have made him roll an Arcana or History check if I had been more experienced, which at the time I was not. Whatever the case, this ended up completely derailing the adventure. The drow got stunned, our rogue grabs the thing, and the party ends up being the ones chased, but not on rooftops. The part of the adventure I look forward to the most just completely went up in literal torch smoke because the cleric wanted to be clever. Now here's the question I ask. Am I in the wrong for being bitter about this? I understand that I should reward clever thinking and problem solving, but I can't help but to think that the torch wouldn't be enough to stun a drow. I love to hear people's thoughts on this matter. That is the end of the post. And you know what it's about to be. It's about to be time for my TED Talk, and you gonna hear my mouth. And here's time for the TED Talk. The question is that metagaming? Yes, it is very much metagaming. Sunlight stuns drow. Torchlight does not. There are torches in Menzoberranzan. I believe that's the place for the Dark Elves. They use torches. Torchlight doesn't really affect, if I remember correctly. It's been a little while. I'm slightly rusty on rules, so you'll have to excuse me. It's been a little bit for I say it's been a little bit for torchlight. It's not that much affected with dark vision. It's just the source of light, but you can still use dark vision when using a torch. Now, with that in mind, like I said, torchlight is not sunlight. And because it's not sunlight, it can't stun the drow. So the cleric was completely taking advantage of the fact that the guy was a new DM, didn't know everything that the cleric's player knew, and because he was doing that, he was like, oh hey, I'm just going to take advantage of this, and you don't know any better, and since I'm kind of like the senior here, you got to defer to me, and I'm going to get away with something. He knew what he was doing when he was derailing that campaign. He knew what he was doing when he was derailing that mission. I don't know if he knew ahead of time what was going to happen, but he knew enough to go, well, I'm going to use this torch to stun the drow, which he shouldn't have been able to do. As I said, for anybody, for you guys that don't know, torchlight is not sunlight. It's not that bright. It's, I mean, if you shove it in somebody's eyes, that's, yeah. Which, if I'm remembering, now that I'm thinking about it, if I'm remembering correctly, the cleric said that he shoves the torch in the drow's eyes. If that's the case, give me 1 second. I'm about to literally go back on this video and see this thing. Alright, now that I actually went back in the post, it says that they took the torch to throw at their eyes to blind them. That in and of itself is a different story. I think that is a key factor that the DM may have overlooked. I myself overlooked it because I thought that they were just trying to use torchlight to like and blind the drow. Excuse me. Soda carbonation. To blind the drow. Now, if I'm throwing a torch at your eyes, that's a different story. That's not just blinding, you're taking damage as well. So with that in mind, then yeah, that would have worked. No, that's not metagaming. So I'm flat out reversing what I said prior in the beginning, because as I said, it's that little detail. I'm throwing my torch at their eyes. I'm throwing my torch at them to blind them, instead of, I'm not just putting my torch in their face like, hey. You're literally using it as a projectile weapon with the intent of blinding the adversary, which is fine, which actually, as I'm saying, would work. So like I said, that small detail is what makes such a big difference with what's going on, and I see that now. It's the first time I've ever actually gone back in a video just to like, oh wait, did it say this? To even double check my words, just because I wanted to be sure. And I've done like what, 100 of these things? So yeah, there's that. With that in mind, get wrecked, loser. That's right, fall. With that in mind, I do want to say, yeah, that was actually slightly ingenuitive, because I do want to say common sense on that part. Like, yeah, the player rather, the forever DM was like, oh hey, yeah, I'm just gonna blind them, and that led to something different. Now that goes with something that's in the Dungeon Master's Handbook. It states, if I remember correctly, damn near word for word, get ready for your players to pull the rug out from under you, because not everything's going to go the way you want it to. Not everything is going to go as planned, and because of that, you got to have backup plans. You got to have contingencies for that, because players are smarter more often than not than DMs give them credit for. I know that because I've been a player. I prefer to be a player, and I've been a DM, and I've had the rug pulled out from under me. So yeah, granted, the OP says this was a few years ago, but they're looking for advice, and OP, this is my advice. Yeah, there was nothing wrong. Like I said initially, I was like, yeah, you know, that's metagaming. They're just trying to use something that's not bright enough and this and that. And then like I said, I looked at the wording. The wording is always important, you know. They do that in contracts, you know. Wording is important. So I do want to say that, yeah, I was wrong initially. I am retracting my words. That, yeah, it wasn't metagaming. It was something actually ingenuitive, and that I do apologize that OP feels as though the encounter got ruined. But as a DM, you can make stuff up. They can't see what's behind your screen. So because you can just make stuff up, that means, hey, maybe they do something that gets the thing back. And because you get the thing back, you know, and that's always a plus. Maybe that can turn to the adventure and encounter that you're looking for. So that's all I got to say about this one. I'm about to hit you with the standard YouTuber jargon. Hit the like and subscribe button, the notification button, and the bell. It means absolutely everything to me. It's a simple thing for you guys. It's free for you, but it means absolutely everything to me, and I mean that. It tells me that you guys are liking the content that I'm putting out. It also takes my content and puts it out to people that may not even know this channel exists. And I like to reach as many people as I can because I like to be a part of your lives. For those of you that don't know, I actually like to encounter with you guys. I like to interact with you guys. I said encounter. It's a big part of why I do this, actually. I loved the feedback. I love to sit there and talk with you guys, even if you don't agree with me on some of the things that I say, which is a big thing on my reaction channel. King Sway Entertainment, I cover a lot of things where people don't agree with my opinion. But I do state my opinion with facts behind them. Like the Goku versus Superman thing. Yeah, no. That's a big thing on my channel. I'm still catching flack for that. Literally, I get texts, or I said text. I get posts and comments going, fuck you, you don't know what you're talking about. Literally. But, in the meantime, in between time, always with the peace signs. I'm King Sway. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed my gameplay of Elden Ring, as I've been enamored by this game. It's on my gaming channel, by the way, Sway Realm Games. I'm currently playing that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.